All right, so the First Descendant, is it pay to win? Yes, absolutely. Does it matter to you if you are free to play? Not really. Is it free to play friendly? Absolutely. So first and foremost, somebody who is pay to winning doesn't really affect you negatively. It actually might affect you positively. What do I mean by that? It's basically if you're doing a mission and somebody who is a whale goes into your mission, that just means that your mission is now going to be done easier, faster, and more efficiently, and that's it, really. Unless they bring in like some PvP in here, then none of that is gonna matter, right? It doesn't really matter in looter shooters like this one, like Warframe. I could say free to play friendly, but what does that actually mean? So first of all, the first three characters that you choose from, they are middle of the pack. They're actually pretty decent, but the most important thing is the fact that the game sets you up at, even as free to play, pretty well. So the character that you're seeing right now is Bunny. So Bunny, if I were to make a tier list right now, I would probably put her in as like S tier. The reason why I would put her in as S tier is because, so again, it's a looter shooter, so there is going to be a lot of farming. And honestly, Bunny is one of the best out there. The reason is because of her third skill, which is lightning emission. When you travel a certain amount, it emits like another wave of electricity, and it might not look like it's a lot, but it does do quite a bit of damage. A lot of the times, the regular mobs, she will just one-shot it. I mentioned the part where the move distance, it affects the amount of procs that you get. So her second skill, Speed of Light, increases your movement speed. The thing with the second skill is now, because of this, you move really fast, and you could technically run around a pack of enemies and they can't hit you, and you're just gonna keep proccing the AoE on them, right? So you could just like run past enemies, most likely one-shot them, and run to the next pack or whatever that spawns, and you can just do that. And the Q is also basically a mini AoE, so it does AoE damage as well. So these two, at the very least, make Bunny S tier, in my opinion. Bunny is also a character that you get just by playing the game. About like maybe an hour and a half into it, just doing main quests, you end up getting the materials to craft her. The other thing too is that just by doing missions again, you get the materials for this weapon right here, Thunder Cage. So what is Thunder Cage? Thunder Cage is basically an ultimate weapon, right? It's the highest tier of weaponry that you can get here. Not only is it pretty good because it is going to be one of your main weapons to start with, the best thing about this is definitely its overcharge, its unique ability. When you kill a monster, it has a 60% chance to do an AoE around it. And the way that mobs spawn in this game, they usually tend to spawn close enough to each other to where this radius actually hits all of them. So it makes your farming that much more efficient. So the fact that like the game gives you that in the first few hours of the game sets you up for success in the later parts of the game, because of the fact that now you have everything you need to basically farm anything and everything that you want to craft in this game. That is why I say free to play, no problem. So you might be asking, how do you craft? This is one of the major parts of the game. This is how you're going to get Bunny. This is how you're going to get the weapon. This is how you're going to get everything else in the game. So you can look at weapons, right? You can craft them all, and then Descendant as well. So let's say like in the future I want to do Ultimate Bunny because I like the way she farms. So all you have to do really is, you can see here there's 4 materials that you need to craft. So let's say this one right here, the first one, all I have to do really is hover over this one, and it's going to tell me what research materials that I need. And you just have to press F, or if you're in console, whatever key that you need to press or button you need to press, and it tells you which materials you need to craft this one. So let's say like I want to get this one right here. All I have to do is acquisition info, and it'll tell you where you can get. Yes, you can pay to win it. You can get it with no work, but then what are you really like farming for? You know what I mean? I can understand people that have little time to play, so they just want to pay for it, get it, and enjoy the rest of the game content like that. But if you are playing this as a progression type game, you want to enjoy the process, right? You want to enjoy the journey, kind of. Like you want to start earning and start farming the materials, the weapons, and the descendants that you want. Besides that, there is also the weapons. So weapons, it's kind of confusing in the beginning for the first like maybe 10-15 minutes, but let me make this a lot easier for you. So you can equip up to 3 weapons. And the reason you also want to diverse a little, you can see the ammunition type on the top right. You want to spread it out a little bit. Like there's 4 types. You want to have at least 3 different ones, because the mobs that you fight, they will drop random types of ammunition. And you want to make sure that at the very least, like 3 out of those 4 you can make use of. So weapons, you can just equip them here. It's pretty straightforward. And then on the right side of your weapons here, you can click this thing and it's going to get you to your module. Your module capacity basically is the max that you can put, and you can see the numbers up there. That is your module capacity that it's going to take up. You can see I'm 39 out of 40 right now. You can actually increase this by raising your mastery. So it does get higher. And you might be noticing the green ones here. You see this top part right here, right beside the 3. You see that little symbol? If I remove this right now, you can see the symbol right behind it. So if that matches, you actually only use half of the module capacity that you need to use. So if I put, it says 5 down here right now, but if I put it here, it's at 3. If you're new to the game and you don't want to waste time deciding on what to equip or what not to equip, all you have to do, just click equip recommended module, and for the most part it's not bad at all. So you just do that and move on, because you don't want to spend like the first 30 minutes of your game time deciding on like, oh, what module we're going to put here. So besides that, you also have your Descendant module. It's the same thing, same concept. You can see the greens here as well, and you just have to customize it depending on what you want. You want to be more defensive, you want to have more damage. Let's say like Bunny, for example, uses electric, so I'm going to use electric on this as well. You also have your reactor and your external components, which is kind of like your armor. Think of it that way. So the good part about this, it is also very newbie friendly, because all you have to do is hover over something, and you can see at the bottom there, skill power when equipped, it tells you if this one is better than the one I currently have equipped. The weird one about this one is that you need to pay attention to is, you see the bottom left here, there's 25. This gives me more stats even though it's 23. So why is that? The thing is, the optimization condition, basically if you meet those conditions, it will give you more skill power, right? And that's why this level 23 is better than it's level 25 currently. Under the optimization condition, you see scout rifle weapon class equipped. So if I were to equip a scout rifle weapon class, this will be a lot better than this one. But because I have a tactical rifle weapon class equipped right now, that means that this one will have 40% more total, and it's going to surpass this one right here. So that's just something that you have to pay attention to, and make sure that you equip your weaponry accordingly so you're not missing out on that. And then the rest of this one here, this one's not too complicated. You just have to choose, you want max shield, you want HP, you want defense. But the main thing that you have to pay attention to here, if you can see the name of this one, Battle Aesthetics Sensor. So this is part of the Battle Aesthetics set. And then you also have your mastery rank up here. Again, you can see the capacity get raised up here. So every time you it starts flashing on your screen, on the top left of your screen, and you have to increase your mastery, you have to go over here and you have to manually increase your mastery ranking. The good thing about this game too, after playing a lot of Warframe, is that like you see these maps, you could technically be in here with other players, and you could be doing this mission and they could be doing this mission, and you could just like not interact. But they could be doing this mission and you can decide like, hey, I want to join him in that mission. You can just go over to this node, press join, and let's say like he's 70% done with the mission. You can join him on that mission, and when it gets done, you actually get credit for that as well. A lot of the times, especially later on in the game, you're probably going to notice like people farming here still, if they want to farm for like a specific piece. Like for example, this one right here, long distance maneuvering, acquisition chance 1%. Somebody might want to farm this one later on if they really want it that badly, and then you could join them as a newbie and they will probably carry you for the most part. But yeah, that is basically the gist of like the game. There's a lot of other stuff in here, like these, for example, these void intercept battles, which is like basically a boss fight. There's certain things that you can get here, like the materials. The way that this works is that you can kill the boss and you can get the drops, but there is an orb that spawns in the middle, and you need to have, technically, if you play Warframe, what was it called? I think it was called like artifacts, basically like keys so you can open them up. So yeah, hopefully that helps. If you guys want to see more of this content, if this helped out, let me know in the comments and I can start making more stuff for this. Hopefully this helps. Thanks.